about to say he's still alive. They're like, oh no, that's like a huge ghetto.
No. He made it seem like he really cares about him. And Isaac's like, okay, yeah, thank you. And then they like open up the symbiote and they like kills him because his body won't accept it. And they keep running the gamut of like different people, and it just keeps failing.
So who was the other spider thing in there? Was it Carnage or was it?
There's no spiders in this movie.
No, I'm saying.
You mean Venom? The
other symbiote.
We'll get to the other symbiote in a bit. Okay.
All right.
So Dr. Skirt sees Eddie, and she's like, "Oh, you got to help me." He's like, "Why do you want my help?" He's like, "I don't feel like I can like tell the police or anybody because I don't think that's gonna work." He just has so much fucking money that I don't think it's gonna work. He's just like, hey, you know, he would like he'd probably go up to a police officer who's like, hey, how's your daughters? Are they not suffering from cancer? He'd probably say some shit like that, but you know,
that's just
a lot nicer.
One line that he can say.
He can also make biblical references.
That too.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know Cain and what's it called?
Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel.
Yes.
Or Mary. Mary.
You ever heard of this guy named Jesus?
You remind me of him.
You're a carpenter. And you're Jewish. So he keeps continuing.
You sound me.
So she's like, you need to help me, and he's like, okay. He eventually like buckles down. And he's like, I'm gonna help you. So he like goes behind security lines with her, and you know they're like looking at the test subjects, and he's like, okay, you know maybe I can get my journalist job if I take pictures of like people that are being affected by the symbiotes. And he sees Maria's been taken. He's like, oh shit, you know the homeless girl. So he like opens up, he like cracks open the glass by hitting it and shit, and she jumps out and starts attacking him like a rabid dog and shit, and he's like, oh god, Maria, what are you doing? Ah! And then the symbiote leaves her and goes into Eddie, and you know security starts chasing him, and he starts doing like moves that he's like, oh shit, he's like starts jumping off the wall and starts whooping ass. He's like, oh, what the hell's happening? Oh my god! And he starts running through the forest and shit.
Was it Teen Wolf?
because you know it's like you know you want to have your lab in like you know near a forested area to have like some people like
nobody can know where you're at all. Like,
people know where they are at because you got a big ass sign and shit. And in San Francisco, people know where the shit is unless it's underground in the hood.
Just continue. That was bad. Just continue.
San Francisco has hoods. They're
not down. They don't, but
they're pretty lame. they're not like LA hoods. Anyway, off topic.
Yeah.
But that's what we do here. So skirt gets in trouble, and you know, like Eddie gets away, and they figure out she was the one that did it, so she gets infected by the symbiote and she dies.
Wait,
so
who?
Skirt. The skirt dies.
Dr. Skirt.
Yes, and Eddie all of a sudden has to eat like a bunch of food just everywhere because the symbiote we learned like even.
It's not Tokyo Ghoul type of shit, right? When it's starting humans, Tokyo Ghoul.
Actually, kind of. You know, I've only seen one episode, but you can get the premise just from the first episode. But Venom wants to eat people. Because, I mean, Venom has done that in the comics, where he's threatened to eat Spider-Man's head off in the 90s.
Does Venom need Spider-Man to a degree?
No, I mean, this movie proves it. You can just have Eddie.
As like a motivational factor, I'm saying, for some things in like comics a little bit. Because when he get kind of bored...
And Venom has been on many characters other than Spider-Man.
But Spider-Man is like his top list.
It to him for a long time has been a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
Where sometimes they write him like he's like a jealous girlfriend, and sometimes they treat him like he's just a menace that just wants to fuck with his life.
All right.
So he's like, well, I love you, but I just want to show you that you're lesser than me in every way.
Every anime character trope ever.
No.
Nah.
No.
No, you don't get it. Like,
They don't do that in Shin-Chan. Anyway, back to this movie.
Back to reality. Back to life. All right, go ahead.
So, Venom starts acting up in him, and he starts hearing the voice in his head, and he starts thinking he's crazy, and he's sweating all the time, he's discombobulated all the time, he's eating everything that he can find. This nigga eats frozen tater tots. That's how hungry he's become. He eats like some chicken remnants from the trash, and he starts vomiting. And but they frame it in a way where it's not like cavalier, like goofy, like, oh, look at this zany dude and he can't stop eating. No, they make it look like, oh, this fucking is like disgusting and it hurts him, and it's like depressing, like to see him like go through that. That's how they frame it. I'm like, okay.
Venom is another form of depression. It's on a max level. Mm-hmm.
So, let's wrap it up a little more. So, okay, the boyfriend doctor is able to get the venom out of him. This is after there's like a great, motorcycle chase and a lot of like security just dying. I even heard a Wilhelm scream that made me laugh. Venom is eating people now, and. I'm not going to say the best joke in the movie. I'm not going to say that, but it's something that involves, elevation. So, Venom goes to like an air duct and ends up on a dog, and then ends up on the girlfriend, and then ends up back on Eddie. And Venom wants them to get together. The Venom itself, because it starts realizing, you know what? I actually don't want to eat everybody to like just destroy the world. I actually kind of like this place. But the problem is Carlton Drake. He gets a little alien on him because there was a paramedic back in Malaysia that got symbiote, and it got on an old woman, and then it got on a child that got onto a plane to San Francisco. Now, one of my problems, like a very minor problem I have, is that they could just made one of the symbiotes from the lab get on Carlton Drake rather than having like jumping here to here to here. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just like, was that just to add 20 more minutes?
Pretty much. They had to make the money somehow.
Well, I mean, this movie is making money.
How much money is making?
It's blown box office expectations for anything that's come out in October. Anyway, so we'll just wrap it up. So, spoiler: Carlton Drake dies.
Which was that one?
He's Riz Ahmed's character, the bad guy that keeps bringing up the cancer.
The rich kid.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is not like John Wick.
Well, John Wick is overrated, but that's another conversation for another day.
Okay.
But he loses Venom. It seems like, and
Eddie loses Venom.
Yeah, it seems like he loses Venom, and but the rocket doesn't go up to space, so the symbiote that's on Carlton Drake can't bring other symbiotes to destroy the world. Muhahaha. So that can't happen. But Venom is the one that decided, I'm willing to sacrifice myself, because he understands Eddie, because he says, back on my planet, the reason I left is because I was a loser like you. I'm like, well, shit. But then it turns out that Venom is really still within him, and maybe there's just like some piece of him imprinted on him, something encrypted
in his DNA.
Yes, you do hear the Eminem song at the
which one?
Venom from his album Kamikaze. Okay. But just wrap it up. You get your Stan Lee cameo. You get one of the thug that was like robbing.
What did he say, Stan Lee?
I don't want to spoil that for you because it's funny.
All right, fine.
But Venom and Eddie stopped the thug that had been like messing with the middle-aged Asian woman that runs the store like throughout the movie. They're like, give me your protection money, bitch. And he's like, you know what, Venom, what now?
Oh, that's like his.
Exactly. So.
Oh God, was she scared?
Oh yeah, she was horrified. But you know, like it's pretty much.
They don't talk no more. Or what happened? Or like?
Oh, that thug is dead.
No. I mean, like the Asian lady in the Venom.
They still talk. But she's. You know, she ain't gonna cheat on her taxes. That's for damn sure.
She don't want them with taxes no more?
No.
He's like, oh, who else can you go and get?
Because Venom and Eddie said, you can only eat bad people. Which, you know, if that's a moral story, I'll take it.
Well, define bad. That's the thing. Because that can get very gray area.
Well, don't you know, Eddie just has the magical ability to know when someone's evil. Just was joking. But overall, I think I'll give this movie a B+. I had a lot of fun with it. You know, there's great tension. Some editing needs some work, in my opinion. But it's funny, and the big thing about this movie is the dynamic between Eddie and Venom, and there's huge laughs just from them talking to each other. Okay. And there's some pretty badass action. I'm not gonna lie. When you see a bunch of like SWAT team just like being thrown by like a giant alien monster, you can't help but say, okay, I see what you're doing. As long as you don't make it retarded like Michael Bay movies.
Yeah, no, but Tom Hardy though, right? I remember that he said that he went into this hoping that he can probably play this character for another several years.
Well, there's a possibility of second movie. I mean, so far I think it's made $80 million at least, which is like unprecedented for just like a solo superhero movie with like only
Black Panther.
That's part of like a long series of movies that are interconnected continuity. This is just a standalone, completely standalone. Like if Black Panther had come out first from the MCU, that shit would have bombed. Like if it came out in 2008, it would have fucking bombed. So, but people saw Civil War, and a lot of people have been acclimated like this version of Black Panther. I was like, okay, I see, that's cool, and people got excited with trailers and like, okay, and then before you know it, it makes $1 billion. So, it's all about how you set up things, because even some of the biggest brand names can have faults. You know, if you like place it in the wrong time period. Like Solo didn't do that well. It cost a lot more to make it than they made back. Mostly because of reshoots. So, it's Positive Krypton Critics. This is Isaiah. I'm Eric. We'll see you later. You know we love you.